The Digital Divide by Michael Lavery, Kelly McGraw, and Emily Ray. So what do you know about the digital divide? Well, the digital divide is defined as the gap between the students who have access to digital technology at home and those who do not. And oftentimes, this gap is not just those who have access, but it also includes those who may have access but choose not to use it. Factors include socioeconomic status, ethnicity, and geographic location. And as we go on, we'll explore more about what exactly the digital divide is caused by, going beyond these factors as well. So, where is the digital divide? The most serious issue regarding the digital divide is that underrepresented minority groups do not have sufficient access to technology resources. Typically, this is caused by a lack of finances to be able to provide those technology resources, whether it's in their homes or in the schools that are in the surrounding areas. That's the central problem, is with the gap between money between those who have technology and those that do not. And the digital divide occurs within schools as well. Policymakers have to ensure the equal distribution of technology resources so that all have equal opportunities. And typically, this is not something that is handled, or handled well at least. There's a very obvious difference between schools that are in affluent neighborhoods and those that are not. And lower income urban areas typically have significantly less access to technology compared to those in upper income suburban neighborhoods. So now we have a video about the digital divide and how it's not just about
As
money.
books, music, television, phones, films, games, photography, and productive work tasks become digitized, there is a cost associated with participating in these new forms of media. The term digital divide was first used to describe a social gap between those that use technology and those that didn't, and therefore felt left out. However, the term now encompasses a large number of variables that prevent people from adopting and using new technologies. If we set aside money for just one moment and consider that if we could all afford the same technologies, data still shows that we wouldn't all adopt them, then we must accept that there is more at work. Perhaps the original definition of the divide as social was closer to the truth than we thought. We are all human, and we all share things in common. Yet the digital divide grows along the barriers of age, of gender, of race, of education, of geographical borders, of household structure, disability, and language. These variables are irrespective of income, so perhaps they are very personal. Some of us might miss the nostalgic feeling of a book in our hands and the smell of fresh pages, while others enjoy the freedom to buy a new book while on the morning commute. Some of us enjoy the private feeling of being out and disconnected from the office and our social circles, while others fear the things they might be missing when going off-grid. Technology can be a label that people try to resist, even as they embrace the digitized form. Using old retro phones is an attempt to merge the portability of digital phones while rejecting the addition of camera and internet functionalities to the device. There are professional musicians that still embrace the sound of vinyl music, while others create new and unique music experiences using computers. The internet is a place where identity is unfixed and malleable, where the concept of community has changed and continues to change daily, and where privacy may not be something we can personally control, and no longer means building a higher fence in the backyard. For some, this new place has too many personal risks and has upset the bonds between family and local communities. For others, the possibilities and conveniences of digital lifestyles are impossible to ignore. Technology makes us feel both fear and joy, anxiety and excitement, powerlessness and comfort. It is not just money that is dividing us, but uncertainty and differences of social values. Until we can overcome these, we will not close the gap.
It is not just money that is dividing us, but uncertainty and differences of social values. Until we can overcome these, we will not close the gap.
So we can see here that money is only part of the problem with the digital divide. And even with equal opportunities, many will choose to not use technology, whether it's a matter of personal preference, fear and just not knowing how to use the technology, many, even with equal opportunity, will not take those opportunities. And so not all teachers and students will use technology. And oftentimes, this will be because of a lack of training or, like I mentioned before, various fears that happen with the usage of technology. What benefits are there? If this is a problem, then it means that the solution would have to actually be something worthwhile for us to pursue. One of the first and primary benefits of technology use is of interactive and engaged learning. Now, with technology, a teacher can have a lesson where students are all participating, even on their own, using these different resources. One of the benefits with technology is that teachers are able to have multiple tools that students are all using simultaneously. So, for example, with iPads, students are able to have closer to a one-on-one experience as opposed to having a whole group instruction with one teacher and 20 or so students. This can also create more efficient learning as students are able to go at their own pace and are able to be challenged in an appropriate way. So technology is very effective for differentiated instruction, where students are able to receive the instruction that they need that will challenge them. Another primary benefit is for effective assessment. And many of these technology tools, such as iClickers, teachers are able to see how well the class is understanding the material. So with questions that are posed to the entire class, students are able to register their multiple choice answer, like A, B, C, or D, and instantly have a graph of what students' responses show. And on the spot, the teacher is able to have just an instant assessment of the entire class and able to restructure teaching based on what students need to know. Also, there is an increased motivation for learning. Oftentimes, students will just get excited about the opportunity to use technology, and with something that is different or unique and exciting from the everyday routine, students will be more engaged and thus be able to learn more effectively. Also, research has proven an increase in academic performances, specifically in math and science, and these subjects are more likely to be beneficial for the use of technology. And one of the crucial aspects of having technology used, especially at an elementary level, is that the earlier that they learn technology and computer skills, the easier it will be for them going forward. These technology and computer skills are crucial, especially as they move through their education. So, can you think of any other benefits? How else can technology be used to promote education and learning within the classroom? Now, there are also many long-term consequences of the digital divide. There's a widening gap of knowledge between low-income families who do not have technology and affluent families. So those that do not have opportunities early on, it becomes more and more difficult for them as kids who do have opportunities are gaining this information that they don't have access to. And that divide will typically continue on. Children in low-income families are less adept in computer skills. So as students, as mentioned before, especially in the college age, it's extremely necessary for students to have these skills. And without technology skills, such as being able to research or type or create presentations or just using technology for various projects, it will be more difficult for them. And without those technology skills, students are likely to struggle. Some more long-term consequences. If students do struggle with this technology to the point where it would cause them to struggle in college, the lack of a college degree will just multiply those issues. Further inequality will continue, and the digital divide will just grow more and more. And without a college degree, like I was saying, those problems will just multiply, and fewer opportunities will be there for students to move up the socioeconomic ladder. Uh, Minorities will be underrepresented in managerial, technical, and educational jobs. These jobs typically require a college degree as well as technology education. And the affluent white suburban college student with access to technology, by nature of having those opportunities, will be more likely to have a college education, whereas the typically underrepresented minorities will not be able to pursue the same opportunities. So, reaction to the digital divide. Much like the Matthew effect on literacy, students who begin their education without the use of technology will fall further behind their peers over time. And so, as we were saying before, the divide will grow, and this problem will just continue, and students will be unable to make up the gap with these technology resources. The deficits in early technology opportunities will have much bigger ramifications later in life, whether it's with careers, education, even the impacts on their own children. If they don't have the experience with technology in their own life, they will be much less likely to use it in a beneficial way later on. And so instead of ignoring the problem or making light of it, schools need to take action to ensure that students are equipped in this digital age. Now, the real question is how. How can this digital divide be lessened? And how can schools, teachers, students, families, and the community all work together in order to provide particularly lesser, um, lesser privileged students with these opportunities to have success in the future? So how would you solve the problem? Now we came up with a few solutions here. First, to connect the students without technology to available resources. There are available resources around. Public libraries are a prime example of this. Oftentimes they have resource areas, they have computers, and typically there will also be programs to help connect students with the library resources. But far too often these resources are not fully utilized. And as teachers learn about students' home environments, they're able to better provide assistance in accessing and using technology. So oftentimes teachers are unaware of what may actually be happening as far as the student's exposure to technology at home. And with just a better understanding of the environment and of the students, teachers will be better able to help. An idea for at the school level would be to create an after-school program with access to technology to complete homework as well as learn technology skills. So media centers and computer labs can really be a great benefit for students with the proper training and with the proper instruction. Otherwise, technology will not really be utilized and will be used for just avoiding work rather than actually a um, productive method with it. And part of the value in having the school and family, teachers, and parents all involved is that parents are able to take these things home, have their students and their children practice with the technology and be able to use it. So providing free workshops for parents really helps to learn the value of the technology and the skills to use it. Um, Last, to train teachers effectively to effectively use technology. This is one of the things that can really make all the difference. If teachers have the opportunities but do not take them, then it's the same as if the school didn't provide the technology at all. So some further questions to think about. The article states that in the future, the use of technology will become a determining factor for every student to be successful. Do you agree? So what solutions would you like to see implemented? And how can we help teachers to be confident and prepared to use technology in their classrooms?